Okay, so this is a tutorial on how to do Deep Dark 1. So, basically, on the side of your screen, you see text that says, what's next? So, what the next thing that they're going to spit out. This is from, this is from right after you load the game. So, the next thing on phase 1 is going to be fire. Next thing on phase 2 is also going to be fire. This is also fire. So, phase 3 and 4 are linked. So, before you start your run, what you want to do is you want to go into Deep Dark Comet, and then you go over here. So you have to get into you have to do the level, and then so I usually put this fire. So there she just threw fire. So now the next thing that she's gonna throw is a shell. Right? So now she throws a shell and you want to pick it up. So now the next thing she's going to throw is fire for phase 1, right? So now you want this fire to go by and you want what's next to be a shell. So you're going to leave this. Wait till she throws the fire. So it's now on shell, right? Shell. Okay. And then you want to throw it at her. So now that's saved. And now the next thing that's going to come up, now we're on phase 2. So now phase 2, that's the fire. So now the next thing is shell. Dodge the fire. So now she's going to throw a shell. You're going to pick that up. Now the next thing is fire. Right? So you want basically phase 1 and 2 to be shell. So now she just threw the fire, and now she's on shell. So now here's the part where it gets a little bit complicated. If you just reset your game, or if you just loaded the game, then you probably want to just stop here and then do your run. But if you've had the game up, it'll be fire, fire, shell, fire, fire, shell. But for when you just load it up, it's fire, shell, fire, fire, shell, fire, fire, shell. So I like to have one fire before the first shell. So she's gonna start the cutscene here, and then you just want to exit. So now, okay, so that again, that was before the run. That was before you even start. So now let's say you're in your 120, and you're doing, you've now gotten to Deep Dark 1, and I will do a quick Deep Dark 1 skip for you. So just a quick thing to remember is that before the run, after you set this up, you can't exit the game again until after you've completed your run. Because if you exit the game and say go to the Wii menu or turn off your Wii or something, this is all lost and you have to do it again. So now I'm in the Deep Dark 1. I just did Deep Dark 1 skip, and now I'm in the fight, right? So now, when you're in Deep Dark 1, you want to set up basically this, what you see below in the text, again. So what's next for phase 1 is going to be a shell. So you want to grab the shell. So right, there's my shell. So now the next thing is fire. So now you're gonna do the same thing you did before. You throw the shell at her after she's thrown the fire, and then that'll set it up so that the shell is next. So now shell is next. Okay, and now we're on phase 2. So again, shell. So now I have the shell, and the next thing is fire. And again, you do the same thing. She's going to throw the fire, and then you want to throw the shell at her. Okay. So then, now the next thing is shell. So you can kind of see the pattern here of how this is now all going to be set up for Deep Dark Comet when we get there. So now, again, because I did this just from loading up the game, this is going to be a shell right here, because it's fire, shell, fire, fire, shell. So right here, I like to grab the shell, and I grab the shell, and then I wait for it to throw, and then attack, and then throw the shell. So I wait for her to throw fire. Or something like that. So now she's just thrown one fire, she's going to throw another fire. Right. And then the next one's going to be a shell. And for the Daredevil, I don't like to really set anything up on the phase 3 and 4 just because I think it's a little bit risky. So now, you can either wait or you can just throw it like that. And then that's the end of the fight. So now, again, this is the setup now that we have going into Deep Dark Comet. So now let's do a Deep Dark Comet. So again, this is you're still in the middle of the run. This is Deep Dark Comet in the actual 120 run. I guess another thing I should mention is that in Deep Dark Comet, when you're trying to grab the shells, you should not jump and spin because it's very difficult to grab the shells and sometimes your spins will get dropped. But now that this is the last Kamella fight in the run, we don't have to manipulate anymore. So I just grab the shell and I throw it at her. Usually I try to do it a little bit quicker than that. But, so now that's shell, and then phase 1. Phase 1 is completely done. Phase 2. Shell, grab, completely done. And then phase 3. So there's the first fire. You can kind of chill on this pole if you want. Sometimes this can be annoying. You want to make sure that there's one fire. If you didn't see the second fire yet. So yeah, that's an explanation of how Deep Dark Comet and Comet setup works. Hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions.